Imagine Dublin on a rainy evening. In an old pub, the Brazen Head, you can hear traditional Irish music. A fiddle player makes old songs come alive with the sounds of centuries past. People drink pints of Guinness and tap their feet to the music. This scene feels like old Ireland, like a picture from a postcard. It shows a simple, traditional country where time moves slowly. But right next door, something very different is happening. A modern glass building shines with bright lights. Inside, software engineers are working late into the night. They come from many countries, like Poland, India, and Nigeria. They create computer programs for big tech companies around the world. They might order food from a Vietnamese restaurant for dinner. This is the new Ireland, not only about shamrocks and old stories. Ireland today is a mix of these two worlds. Old Gaelic traditions live next to very modern ways. In the last 30 years, Ireland has changed very fast. It was once a poor country, but it has become one of the wealthiest nations, at least on paper. But this fast change has brought new problems too. For example, there is a serious housing crisis. So you can see old traditional music next to Google's big European office. Children from many different countries learn the Irish language in schools. Young people earn good money, but often cannot afford to buy a home in the city where they were born. Ireland is a country with many parts, full of changes. It is building its future while also remembering its important past. 2. A rich country. Ireland changed a lot. It became very rich, very fast. People call this time Celtic Tiger 2.0. This means it was a second time the country saw big money growth. Just a few decades ago, Ireland was not a wealthy country. Now, on paper, it is one of the richest countries in the world. Big American tech companies helped with this change. Companies like Google, Apple, and Microsoft built their main European offices in Dublin. They chose Ireland because of good tax rules, many English-speaking workers, and easy access to the European market. These companies brought many new, well-paying jobs. These jobs were very important. For a long time, many young Irish people had to leave Ireland to find work. They went to places like London or New York. But now, with these new companies, many Irish people could come back home. They found good jobs and could live in their own country again. This stopped the brain drain, where smart people left. Because of these big companies, Ireland's economy grew very fast. The government got a lot of money from taxes. This money helped to build better roads, schools, and hospitals. Dublin's docklands, where factories used to be, are now full of modern office buildings. These buildings house thousands of tech workers. However, much of Ireland's wealth is on paper only. Big companies put their profits in Ireland for tax reasons. For example, Apple says iPhones are exported from Ireland, but they are not made there. So these sales make Ireland look richer, but the money does not really stay in the country or help everyone. Experts say that almost two-thirds of foreign investment is phantom. This means it looks like money is coming in, but it is just for accounting. So while Ireland seems very rich on paper, the everyday life for many people is different. 3. Problems with money. Ireland's rapid economic growth brought new problems for its people. The country became very rich on paper, but daily life became very expensive for many. Dublin and other cities now face a serious housing crisis. It is very hard for people to find an affordable place to live. Rents are very high, especially in Dublin. For example, the average rent can be more than €2,400 each month. This makes it difficult for young people, even those with good jobs, to afford a home. Many young professionals earn good money, like €50,000 or more each year. In most countries, this salary would allow them to buy a house comfortably. But in Ireland, they often cannot buy a home of their own. Many are forced to live with roommates well into their 30s. Others stay in their childhood bedrooms for a long time. This means they often put off important life steps, like getting married, having children, or owning a home. It feels like their dreams are delayed because of these high costs. A young woman named Sarah O'Brien shows this problem well. She is a 28-year-old marketing executive. She earns €55,000 a year, which is a good salary. It is even more than her father made as a bank manager before he retired. But Sarah still lives in a shared apartment with 3 other people. She pays €1,200 every month just for her bedroom, which is small. She finds that the cost of living is much higher now than it was for her parents. The high cost of success affects other parts of life too. Childcare costs are very high, some of the highest in Europe. This makes it hard for many families. Healthcare also faces challenges, with long waiting lists for different treatments. So, while Ireland looks very rich on paper, this wealth does not help everyone equally. The government has more money from company taxes. But for ordinary people, daily life has become harder. Ireland's success in bringing big international companies has made the country unaffordable for many of its own citizens. This shows a big difference between the country's reported wealth and the real cost of living for normal people. This economic situation has also led to a record number of homeless people, with nearly 14,500 people living in emergency places in early 2024. Many families with children are now homeless, which was once very rare. 4. Life in Dublin. Dublin is a very busy city, full of life and movement. Many people from different countries live and work here. You can walk down a street and see Polish food shops, Indian restaurants, and Chinese takeaways. This mix makes Dublin a truly international place. One such person is Tomasz Kowalski. He is a software developer, 34 years old, and came to Dublin from Krakow, Poland, 8 years ago. He found a job and a new home. Tomasz lives with his Irish girlfriend, Emma, in Rathmines. They share a part of a large old house. For their space, they pay €1,800 every month. Tomasz's typical day starts with coffee from a small cafe run by a man from Syria. Then he travels to his job at a company that works with money and technology, located near the city's docklands. His office is in a new, tall building. At work, his team is diverse, with colleagues from France, Spain, India, and also from Cork, Ireland. This mix of people from different places is common in many Dublin workplaces. After work, Tomasz often meets friends. They might go to a traditional Irish pub for a drink, enjoying the local atmosphere. Sometimes he attends a music session where people play old Irish songs together. Tomasz feels that Dublin is his home now. He likes how Irish people are welcoming to new people, even though living in the city can be expensive. However, daily life in Dublin also has challenges. The city can be very crowded, especially during busy times. Tomasz's journey to work often involves packed buses and heavy traffic. This can make his commute long. On the weekends, he finds other ways to enjoy the city. He might watch a Gaelic sports match, like hurling, at Croke Park. He also visits the farmers' market in Temple Bar, or takes a walk along Dublin Bay, seeing the charming old seaside towns. Dublin is an exciting city, but its fast pace and many people mean it is also busy and can have a lot of traffic. 5. Life in the countryside. Life in Ireland's countryside is much different from the busy cities. The pace is slower, and the air is fresh. Far from the big tech offices, traditional life continues, but with modern changes. Michael Flanagan lives in County Roscommon. He is a farmer, like his father and grandfather before him. His day starts very early, at 5:30 in the morning, to milk his cows. But Michael's farm is not old-fashioned. He uses his smartphone to check prices for his products and the weather forecast. He also uses computer systems to milk 180 cows. These systems help him check each animal's health and how much milk they give. Modern farming needs knowledge about genetics, nutrition, environmental rules, and global markets, not just hard work. Michael's wife, Patricia, works as a nurse in a hospital 40 kilometers away. Michael has 2 teenage children, Oife and Sion. They are good at school. Michael hopes one of them will take over the farm, but he knows they might choose other careers. Land in the countryside is expensive now. This makes it hard for young people to buy their own farms. Young people often leave their villages to find jobs in cities like Dublin, where salaries can be higher. This makes small villages quieter, and some local shops or post offices might close as services move to bigger towns. But a new change is happening. Many people are now working online from home. This means they can live in the countryside but keep their city jobs and salaries. Lisa Murphy is one of these people. She is a graphic designer. She used to live in Dublin, paying a high rent. Now she lives in a small village called Clifton in County Galway. She found a renovated cottage with views of the Atlantic Ocean, and her mortgage is much lower than her old rent. Lisa works for clients in big cities like New York and London from her home office. Her daily routine now includes morning walks on quiet beaches. This new way of working helps local shops and businesses in her village. Lisa feels part of the community. She knows her neighbors, buys from local stores, and has joined local groups. She shows how technology can help keep rural life strong and bring new people to villages. This mix of old traditions and new technology is making the Irish countryside change again. It offers a different kind of Irish life, connecting local communities with the wider world while keeping its unique character. 6. A changing society. Ireland changed a lot. Not long ago, it was a very traditional country. The Catholic Church had much power. It helped set rules for daily life. Many people followed its teachings closely. For example, divorce was not allowed. It was also against the law for people of the same sex to marry. Women who became pregnant outside marriage sometimes faced hard times. But things began to change quickly. Over the years, stories came out about bad things that happened in church-run places, like schools and homes. These stories made people trust the church less. Many felt that the church had protected wrongdoers instead of helping victims. People started to question old ways and rules. Ireland began to look at things differently. It opened its mind to new ideas from Europe and the world. This made many people, especially younger ones, want more freedom and fairness. A big moment came in 2015. Ireland held a national vote about same-sex marriage. Most people, about 62%, voted yes. This meant same-sex couples could marry in the country. Ireland was the first country in the world to make this change by a public vote. It showed how much the country had grown. It was a clear sign that Ireland was becoming more open and modern. 3 years later, in 2018, there was another important vote. This vote was about abortion rights. For a long time, abortion was not allowed in Ireland under a special law. Thousands of Irish women had to travel to other countries to get help when they faced a crisis pregnancy. But the people voted yes again, with 66% in favor. This meant women could now access abortion services in Ireland. It was a big step for women's health and personal choice, deeply changing a long-standing rule. These two votes, for marriage equality and abortion rights, clearly showed a big difference between older and younger generations. Older people often remembered an Ireland where the church was very powerful and old rules were strong. They had lived under those strict laws. Younger people, however, grew up with new ideas about fairness and human rights. They wanted a society where everyone was equal and had personal choices. These young people often led the campaigns for change, talking to their families, friends, and neighbors to explain why these changes were important. Margaret, a retired teacher born in the 1950s, saw this big change firsthand. When she was young, the priest's word was like law, and women like her sometimes had to hide their marriage to keep their jobs. But Orla, a young social worker, actively campaigned for the new laws. She felt it was wrong that friends had to hide who they were or travel far for medical care. She believed everyone deserved fair treatment and the right to make their own decisions in their own country. Ireland is now a very different place. It is more modern and accepts many different ways of life. The church has less power in law and society, and people have more personal freedom. The country has moved from very old traditions to a new, progressive path. This social change happened very fast and touched everyone, making Ireland a more diverse and accepting nation. 7. A more open country. Ireland today is a country that welcomes people from all over the world. This has made daily life very different and more colorful. In big cities like Dublin, you can see and hear people from many cultures. Streets now have Polish food shops, Indian restaurants, Chinese takeaways, and African hair salons. It is easy to find food from Vietnam or Brazil. Children in schools come from dozens of different countries. They learn English and often speak with an Irish accent, but their families also keep their own languages and traditions. Take Tomasz Kowalski, a software developer from Poland. He moved to Dublin for work and now lives with his Irish girlfriend. He often gets coffee from a local cafe run by a Syrian refugee. His workplace is full of people from France, Spain, India, and Ireland. After work, he might grab drinks at a traditional pub that also serves craft beer, or listen to traditional music sessions where musicians come from various places. This blend shows how cultures mix in daily life, making Dublin feel like home to many. This new mix of people has changed what it means to be Irish. It is not just about old traditions or one type of person. It is about new ideas, different customs, and many ways of life. People are finding new ways to be Irish, blending their heritage with a more global identity. This creates a society that is both traditional and modern, constantly evolving. Also, religion in Ireland is changing a lot. For a long time, the Catholic Church was very strong. Now, many people choose not to follow any religion. The census in 2022 showed that about 14% of Irish people said they had no religion. This number is even higher for young adults, showing a move towards a more secular society. At the same time, new religions are growing. The country now hosts Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, and Protestant communities. Dublin has a grand mosque serving thousands of worshippers. There are also Hindu temples in cities like Cork and Galway. These new communities have generally been welcomed, adding to Ireland's rich cultural fabric and showing its openness. The country is learning to live with many different beliefs and cultures. This makes Ireland a rich and interesting place. It is a country that is still changing and growing, finding its identity in a global world that values openness and diversity. The story of what it means to be Irish continues to evolve with each new person who calls Ireland home. 8. The future of Ireland. Ireland today is a country of many mixes. It has become very rich, but many people still find life hard. It is open to new ideas, but old ways are still important. Dublin, for example, has new tech buildings next to old streets. This shows how Ireland is between old and new. It has found great success in business and changed its society fast. However, this fast change brought new problems. Finding a home is very difficult for many people, especially in cities. Rents are very high, and buying a house is hard even for people with good jobs. There is also a difference in money. Some people earn a lot from new jobs, but others in older jobs do not. This makes inequality a challenge for the country. Looking to the future, Ireland must keep its good things and fix its problems. It needs to find a way to have strong traditions and new ideas at the same time. The country has shown it can do this. For example, traditional Irish music now has players from many different countries. Local sports clubs also welcome new people. The Irish language is important for its identity and is being learned by more people. Climate change is another big task. Ireland needs to protect its environment and use cleaner energy. The way the country makes money also needs to be safe for a long time. It relies a lot on big international companies, and this can change. The people and leaders of Ireland will make choices in the coming years. These choices will write the next part of Ireland's story. It is a story of a small island that knows how to change and grow. It has learned to be modern, but also to keep its unique Irish spirit. The country has proven it can move forward without losing who it is. The future of Ireland is an open book. What do you think is the most important thing for Ireland to focus on for its future?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.